Okay, welcome back. We're going to do some more from, this is actually from section 2.3, section 2.3, number 5, and we're going to be talking about the FOG and the GOF. It's actually F composed with G and G composed with F. This is an operation that arithmetic doesn't have, the composition of two functions. Composition is unique to functions as opposed to multiplication, division, things like that. You can do with functions and with numbers, but you can't compose two numbers, but you can compose two functions. So let's start off here with what is F composed with G of X. Well, what I mean by that is F of G of X. That G is going to get plugged into F. The order of the FOG is important. So G is the function over here. It's the reciprocal function. It's 1 over X. So 1 over X is going to get plugged into F. Now, F is a little more complicated. It is 2 over 1 minus 9 times the whatever, and in this case, it's 1 over X. Now, the domains and ranges of these things are really important. They have to exist. So as you plug in values into G, they have to exist before you can plug them into F. So you got to be careful about doing too much simplification at this juncture as far as what is the domain of F composed with G. So let's stop right here and figure out what the domain of F composed with G is. Domain of F composed with G are all the numbers that are allowed. Now, it takes a little bit of practice identifying the values that are messed up. But one thing you can do is you can actually graph it on your calculator to kind of help you identify these problem points. So let me just type it in here. I hope you're starting to get used to your calculator. There's a lot of good sources online on how to use your graphing calculator, and I will definitely help you from time to time. So I'm putting this into y equals. Now I don't want to oversimplify it at this point. I want to put it in just like that. So then we're going to hit graph, and we're going to do a standard window. I'm going to hit zoom and do Z standard. Now sometimes you have to zoom out or zoom in a little bit, but anyway, there's our function. Now if you trace around, what we're looking for are points that are a problem. So one particular point that it's not obvious it's a problem is 0. If you plug in 0, you get a division by 0. 9, you can't divide by 0. So let me get out my red pen here. So can't divide by 0. So that is a problem. So we're going to exclude 0. So x can't equal 0. That's for sure. Now there's another problem, it's a little more subtle, and it's when this is 0. So you still can't divide by 0. So when 1 minus 9 divided by x equals 0 is a problem. Now it's not necessarily obvious what that is. If you bring that to the right and then multiply, you get x equals 9. But sometimes you can just kind of eyeball that and realize it. Or if you look at the graph, back to the graph, if you hit trace, I don't know if you've seen me use trace enough, but so I'm hitting trace and I'm moving around. 9 is a problem. You see that vertical line? That vertical line is what we call an asymptote. It's actually blowing up over there, and so that is a problem around 9. Now right next to 9 is fine. It's on either side it is defined. It's just not at 9 because you get exactly 0. You get a division by 0. So this can't equal 0. And so x can't equal 9 either. So we'd say the domain of F composed with G is, now got to get used to this notation. We go negative infinity to 0, and then we leave 0 out by unioning it, making a union with that interval, and then we're going to go over to 9, but we're going to leave out 9. And so it looks like this. Looks pretty complicated, doesn't it? And so, so the domain of f composed with g is the one that leaves out 0 and leaves out 9. That would be right here. All right, now there's a little algebra left to fill in our answer up here. What is f composed with g? We haven't simplified enough, so we want to do some simplification, but you want to do the domain before you do the simplification. Okay, so now, so they want us to go a little farther here with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a common denominator in the denominator. That common denominator is x. So we multiply that 1 top and bottom by x. Okay, and then now we have a common denominator, so we can put the x like that. And then when you divide by a fraction, it's like multiplying by its reciprocal. So you flip that up. And so here is the final answer for f composed with g, where 9 gets left out and 0 gets left out. 0 is not obvious from the simplified one, although 9 is. Maybe 0 was more obvious at the front, but 9 is now obvious here. So we'd put right here 2x divided by x minus 9. All right, I'll save g composed with f for you, and thanks for